Take your time. Come back to the here and now. Let this peace stay with you. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you.
আমরা untold story of Sita আমরা করেছি. We did that. And till what do you remember? What was the last thing that we touched of untold story of Sita? It was about the curse, right? Understanding the power that we can all develop with meditation, like the sages, at the same time being very careful with that power, not using it to curse or hurt anybody. Okay, so this is the time of now Ram finally about to meet Sita. And before that, before Ram was about to meet Sita, he actually had two incidents, big incidents in his life. One was he killed Taraka Rakshashi, we all know, right? And who looked like a lady, beautiful woman, but she was in reality, she was a demon. Okay, and he was hesitating to kill her because it was a woman, but later he had no other option because she was a demon. He had to kill that Rakshasi. So from there, it is also saying we can understand that sometimes we think beauty, yeah, women and beauty. We connect everything to women to mostly beauty, but it is so important that the real beauty is actually the beauty inside. You might look very beautiful outside, but the inside, if it is not beautiful, in reality, you are ugly. This is what this story talks about, that women, by seeing a woman and a beautiful woman, don't get don't misunderstand that, oh, she will be a nice person. So the real niceness comes from the inside, not from the face. This was one learning from this incident of Rama's killing the Rakshasi, and the second where Rama freed. Do you know the story of Ahilya and Gautama Maharishi? হুম? তোমরা জানো অহিল্যার গল্প?
No.
Ahilya was, do you remember? Indra was a very naughty god. He actually was, Ahilya, sage Ahilya was, she also was a sage, wife of Gautama Maharishi, and she was a beautiful sage, very pretty. And Indra was lured by her beauty. Okay, and so Indra, what he did is that he could change. These gods, they could change themselves into something else, right? So he changed himself into Gautam Maharishi, and he went and he had he slept with Ahilya, and
হ্যাঁ শুনেছি শুনেছি
if you remember. And once when he was coming out, Gautama Maharishi saw that he was coming out from the same room where Sage Ahilya was there, and uh, then he got so angry that he cursed Lady Ahilya and she became stone. Okay, so this is what happens, friends. That's why it is so important. Even here, Mata Sita talks about this fact that, আগেরকার দিনে এত কার্স করতে থাকতো, কথায় নয় বাতায় এই ঋষিগুলো পাওয়ারফুল ছিল, আর একটু রাগ টাগ উঠলেই কার্স করে দিল এরকম. So this was Gautama. What was the fault of Lady Sage Ahalya? She didn't know that it was Indra. She thought it is her own husband. Okay, but Gautama Maharishi got angry and he cursed Okay, and she became a stone. So with Rama's touch, Lady Ahilya again came back to life. So Rama here you can see also was a very enlightened, man, and he could understand, and he had, so everybody was scared because everybody was scared about the curses of these sages and how powerful they are. So if somebody would have come to save Lady Ahalya, if Gautama Maharishi would have got angry, he would have cursed that man also. But Rama did not care. He was filled with so much of love that his only thought was to save Sage Ahalya. So in this whole book, the purpose of Rama and Sita's arrival in the world, their birth in the world, was to show what love is, what unconditional love is. Both Rama and Sita, they showed. Okay, what is, আমরা একটু এদিক ওদিক হয় and we feel like killing our enemy, we feel like not talking to them, never taking care of them and everything. Yes, in the beginning if something happens, it might hurt us, we might feel like not talking to that person. But remember friends, we should sooner or later drop this hatred or anything, and again be ready. If my even my enemy wants any help from me, I should be ready to help them with unconditional love. This is the message that I have read and I've understood, because you will see, I'll just talk to you later, that okay, then what happens is that now the Swayambar comes, okay, and Rama was able to break that bow that was the bow was actually given by Shiva, Lord Shiva, to this Parshuram. Okay, and it is Parshuram who gifted now this to Janaka. The King Janaka's family had this bow. Okay, and so Rama was able. Nobody was able to even pick the bow up and break it. Break करना तो बात का बात है. Pick भी नहीं कर पा रहे थे. Finally, it was Ram who picked it and he broke it. And it was during that time only when Sita, she was in one of the fields helping somebody, and that's when Rama also saw Sita, and some deep down he felt that this is the woman that maybe he wanted to marry. So when the Swayambar came, Rama came for Sita, and finally he was able to break the bow. So now here the question is, then Sita here explains कि ऐसा नहीं है कि the bow needed physical strength. Okay. So the bow she was saying that the bow can be picked up by only that person who has the blessing of Lord Shiva. So not anybody will be able to pick up the bow. Only Lord Shiva, the person whom Lord Shiva blesses, will be able to pick up the bow. And Sita said in childhood, when she was a tiny little girl, at that time only she was able to pick up the bow. So already Sita could pick up the bow, and it was next Rama who came for the Swayambar and he could pick up the bow. So here it is like we used to, the whole book, like, the whole Ramayana, you will see that Sita is helpless and Ram is there to help them and everything. This so many generations of Chinese whisper came to a point where again, because of the patriarchal society, they used to write the Ramayana, na, and they kept changing and making the changes in such a way that finally it came up to such that Sita was helpless and Ram was the person who was doing, and he helped, he was powerful. But when you read this book, you'll understand how powerful Sita was, how wise she was, how strong she was. And from that, we should also understand that how powerful we can be if we want to, in our lives. So this is what. So she, at the age of 6 or 7, was able to pick up the bow. So that means she was also very enlightened with the blessings of Lord. She was able to pick up the bow. Okay. Then once, so then the marriage happened, and finally Ram uh, brought Sita to Ayodhya. Now the difference is that what they see in Ayodhya is it's a totally different. Mithila was a very enlightened. Sita's father Janaka's kingdom was though it was not a very rich kingdom, but very enlightened kingdom, because it was run by sage, right? Janaka was not just a Raja, if you remember. He was a meditator. He would meditate. He was a sage. So everything he would do with a lot of enlightenment. So the Raja, if the Raja is like that, the whole kingdom will be like that, right? So that's why the whole kingdom was very joyful. Jitna bhi hai usme bahut peaceful. But Ayodhya was total opposite. Hmm? And Ayodhya was Mithila kingdom was filled with freedom. People could do whatever they want to do. They could take bath. They could go here and there. But when Sita went, so Sita took four of her dasis along with her, along which among which Minakshi was there, and another lady called Soma was also there. Soma was also a very enlightened dasi. She was not just a normal dasi. She could read Sita's mind without even talking. Without even talking to each other, they could read each other's mind. That's how powerful even Soma was. She was a dasi, but a very enlightened kind of a dasi. So out of the four, Minakshi, though we all know, and Soma was another Dasi who went with Sita to her kingdom to serve Sita in Mithila as well. And there they found that, oh my God, Ayodhya is totally opposite. Mithila was filled with freedom, and Ayodhya is filled with formality. Everything is formality. They cannot even come out of the kingdom gate. They cannot even go out to take bath. इतना ज्यादा formality and restrictions था. There was so much of backbiting happening, so much of chaos, disharmony happening in the kingdom. Because you remember, right? Kaikeyi was the mother who was like started getting telling the Rama's father that she wanted her son Bharat to become the king and then Rama to leave the kingdom for 14 years for Banvas. Yeah, so they were like very surprised because they lived in such a joyful, harmonious, enlightened kingdom. And when they came to Ayodhya, it was filled with disunity. Okay, backbiting and everything was happening. Even in the servants, there was gossiping. Mithilate gossip tossip hoto na. Servants এর মধ্যেও gossip tossip কেউ nobody know. That's what they're saying that in Mithila, the servants never knew gossip. শুধু ভালো ভালো কথা হতো and everything. Ayodhyaতে এসে দেখে after they came to Ayodhya, they saw the servants are backbiting against each other, gossiping, and all the nasty things were happening in Ayodhya. Okay. And finally, what happened one day, so one day, they were like, if you see, um, yeah, so এত restriction, এত formality, যে finally না, they could, Sita just knew that see, আমরা ভাবি না যে even rivers, they cannot respond and talk. But here, like Sita got a call from river Sarayu. এখন Ayodhya's river is called Sarayu. Okay. And Mithila's was Ganga. Ayodhya's was Sarayu. And she got a call from Mother Sarayu that তুমি এত restriction feel করছো, I can understand. Come and feel free by taking bath here. So all of them, they were like, they hid themselves, they disguised themselves and came out of the kingdom, and they finally were able to go and take bath in the river and feel a little bit of freedom there. So when Ram came to know, and he said, "Yeah, you should have told me, I could have just taken you out." So this is when Ram again took her. One day when he came to know that, acha, Sita বাইরে যেতে চায়, কিন্তু পারে না because of the restriction. Ram তো খুব ভালো রাজা. So he took her out. Okay, I will take you out one day to the forest. And you know that Sita was the daughter of the earth, right? She loved greenery, she loved nature. She wanted to go out, but she could not. So when Ram came to know about it, she took her. But again, when she went, she was filled with pain. She দেখেছে যে বিনা কারণে মানে forest কাটা হচ্ছে. So Ayodhya was filled with all the wrong things. It's almost like বলে না যে কলিযুগের কাজগুলো হচ্ছিল. Everything, encroachment, cutting down of trees, and Sita was very upset seeing all these things. Then finally, the day came when, everybody was upset. Suddenly, Sita told all the four dasis one day, all these things were happening. ভিতরে ভিতরে অনেক problem হচ্ছিল, কাইকে এসব উৎপাত করছিল. Finally, the day came when Sita called all the dasis, and she told that it is time for me to now leave for Vanavas with Rama. And the Dasis were surprised, and she said that you cannot come with me. I'm so sorry, but can you please take care of this kingdom on my behalf? ভাবো আমরা রামের কথা ভাবি, but see, Sita was so filled with love for everybody. She said that she gave responsibility to the four dasis to take care of, you will be surprised. So here, finally, Kaikai's wish was fulfilled, that Rama will go for Vanvas for 14 years and Bharat will become the king. This was told. So Rama and his like Lakshman and Sita, they were preparing to go. But before preparing to go, Sita called the Dasis and you said, I told you all these things. She gave responsibilities, take care of. They had four mother-in-laws, right? Like Rama, Lakshman, they are all not from the same. They are not from the same mothers. They had four, like mothers. Ram had four. One own mother, three mothers. So Sita, she created a light in the altar. হুম একটা এরকম লাইট ক্রিয়েট করেছে যেটা কোনোদিনও it will never go off. She, with her power, she created a light in the altar. She lighted a diya and she said it is an akhanda diya. This is going to protect everybody, and from through this diya I'm going to convey my message, what needs to be done, what needs to be, and you can also convey your message. তোমার যদি কোনো প্রবলেম হয় তুমি এই লাইট, এই দিয়াটার থ্রোতে আমাকে মেসেজ পাঠাতে পারো. So, and surprisingly, despite of all these things that Kaikeyi Mata had done, Sita told Meenakshi, she gave responsibility, right? এই মাকে তুমি দেখবে, এই মাকে তুমি দেখবে, এই বাবাকে তুমি দেখবে, আমার শ্বশুর মশাইকে তুমি দেখবে, এরকম করে ছেড়ে গেছে. So she told Meenakshi that you have to take care of Kaikeyi Mata. So Meenakshi was surprised. The lady who is responsible for throwing them out for 14 years, this person, Sita, wants me to take care of Kaikeyi. But Sita said, no, you have to take, because she's the person who will suffer the most. গিল্টে ভুগবে. আমরা কি করি, আমরা সবার ভিতরেই তো ঠাকুর আছে, রাইট? ভালো শয়তান, খারাপ মানুষ, ইভেন এই যে আজকে টেররিস্ট we have seen, all have gods. So, once that God awakens, that person will feel guilty about what that person has done. So Sita knew that Kaikai Mata will feel extremely guilty when she realizes her mistake. And she might go into deep depression and everything. And she said, all the kingdom are, abandoning her. Even the Raja, the other mothers, and everybody will abandon Kaikai Mata. So she will become very alone. So Meenakshi has to take care of her. See the love of Sita, that, the person who threw her out, she is thinking about this Kaikeyi Mata. Okay. And then, um, and that Shabai, they were very upset and saying, what a misfortune has come. Especially Meenakshi was telling Sita, what a misfortune has come to our life and so bad and everything. Tokon Sita bolche, see, this is what we all should learn. And you will see, every misfortune has a blessing hidden in it. Especially আমরা যদি স্পিরিচুয়াল হই, আমরা যদি কোনো একটা প্রবলেম, বড় একটা ঝামেলা জীবনে এসেছে, ডোন্ট গিভ আপ. বাজের থেকে বাজের মধ্যে ওটার মধ্যে একটা ব্লেসিং থাকবে যদি আমরা we keep sticking to our meditations, we keep sticking to sajana sangatya and reading books and everything. Spiritual pathe যদি আমরা continuously stick করে থাকি, no matter how big the problem is, it will turn into a blessing. It is my own personal experience, and here Sita also says that. ও মানে Meenakshi was complaining that এই এত এরকম কি হয়ে গেল, misfortune, now you have to go and everything. See the beauty, positive attitude, the way Sita used to see everything. She used to see in a very positive light. Okay, and she used to say that don't think it like a misfortune. Every misfortune has a hidden blessing. ও বলছে, and then he says that during that time there were so many hermitages in the forests, right? পরে আগেরকার দিনে কি হতো, ফরেস্টেই হার্মিটেজ থাকতো, ইসেতে থাকতো না, মেইন জায়গা থেকে কি থাকতো. মানে আমি এর জন্য কালকে yesterday or day before yesterday, why was I telling that try to be as much as possible in a balance. Don't go too much into the society that you get distracted, or don't go too within that you don't even interact with the society, make a balance. Hermitages, why were they made in the forest? Because এই যে extreme societal chaos এর থেকে বাঁচা যায়, সুন্দরভাবে পিসফুল স্টেটে মেডিটেশন করা যায়, নিজের উপরে কাজ করা যায়। এট দ্য সেম টাইম হার্মিটেজ পিপল অলসো হ্যাভ দে পিপল, সো দের উইল বি আ লিটল বিট অফ ফ্রিকশন ফ্রম ওয়ার ইউ ক্যান লার্ন অলসো। এরকম না যে কোনো একদম ফ্রি, আমি তোমার, you are interacting, you're working, so there are triggers, you can work on the triggers when you are having some challenge with somebody, but at the same time not bringing too much of triggers that you get sidetracked. Okay, so Sita here is saying that everything, it's a blessing. I think it is a blessing that we are going to the forests, because অনেকগুলো hermitage, dacoits and all these people, the king, other kings of different kingdoms, and dacoits and different kind of people, all these were attacking the hermitages over and over during that time. A hermitage, or over and over they were getting attacked by different people. And Sita said it is an opportunity for us to protect them. That's why we are going to the forest. So I see it in this way, I see it as if me, Rama, and Lakshman, we are going to the forest to take care of these ashrams so that they are protected, they are not attacked by outsiders. See the beauty of it, attitude ta দেখো সীতার। এরকম সিচুয়েশনে লোকে ভেঙে পড়বে, হ্যাঁ 14 বছর কোনখানে কই থাকবো, থাকারও জায়গা নাই, no shelter, nothing, what are we going to do? A woman will might think all these things, but Sita is thinking again in a very positive attitude. This, I will end with this line where she says, it is it is the attitude, Minakshi, with which one encounters life, that determines whether one can turn a misfortune into a blessing. This is the guidance Sita gave to Minakshi, যে অ্যাটিটিউড ডিপেন্ড করে যে আমি মিসফরচুনটাকে মিসফরচুনই রাখবো নাকি এটাকে ব্লেসিং এ কনভার্ট করবো। Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I think we overshooted. I will see you tomorrow again. Bye bye. If nobody has any questions, I will say good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.